If you're stuck on endless sales calls just to close a handful of clients, or worse, you are having calls with people who are just unqualified, like terrible leads who would never join a high ticket program. So you spend basically hours a day, perhaps every single week on end, just on these calls, more or less wasting your time. Then you're gonna want to watch this video because I'm gonna break down a funnel that's very simple and that allows you to get super high quality leads to your calls so that when you speak to people about high ticket, you know that they are qualified, that they have money, that they trust you and would invest in you. And so the whole process just becomes way easier and allows you to actually buy back a lot of your time and scale your business at the same time because you'll be able to close more clients, close better clients, and with fewer calls. So let's just get into it. Now, like I said, it is a very simple funnel and it just consists of three simple steps, right? And so step one here is your content slash ads. And it's more or less about genuinely trying to attract the right people, your ideal client. And I know a lot of people talk about messaging and land your dream client or whatever. Usually that's just marketing. Like that's just marketing to get you to buy their stuff, right? But if we actually think about this strategically, think about the best clients that you have had. Okay? Just think about them for a second. Where were they when you first spoke to them? Like, what did their situation actually look like? What did they do? Like, what did their life look like? What were some of their like worldviews and beliefs? What were their problems? How did they describe those problems? What were their beliefs around that problem? You can go back, maybe after this video, to watch back maybe sales calls or conversations that you've had with people and listen very closely to everything that they say because in every single sentence that people speak, they reveal a lot about their beliefs and like who they are. You take that as research and you write content about those things. For example, you'll see that on my YouTube videos and pretty much every single piece of content that I make, I do not try to speak to beginners, like beginner business owners and stuff. I never talk about how to get your first client. I don't talk about how to, you know, get an extra client in 24 hours or something like that. Why? Because it attracts people who are beginners. I talk a lot about getting better clients because if you have been in business for a while, then you know how energy draining and how awful it is to work with shit clients who, you know, drain your energy, ask for discounts, etc., etc., right? And so be actually very intentional with the stuff that you put out there because what you put out is obviously the type of person that you're going to attract, right? And so the best thing that I could recommend you doing is genuinely like just speak to the best clients that you've had and just listen, okay? And what leads to then step two is actually getting these people who could be your ideal clients, right? Once you've attracted them to your page or like through ads, now it's time for them to actually begin this relationship with you or like go deeper. I would say begin, right? Because what we're gonna do at step two is get them to invest anywhere between like $1 to like $97. Okay, so something low ticket. Now, why are we doing this? several reasons. So, first of all, we're filtering out literally everyone who isn't willing to spend money, which is going to be a lot of people, right? And the thing is that just investing $1, or the person who does that, is probably a higher quality lead or more valuable than 100 freebie seekers. And it's not about how much they invest, it's about the behavior of investing in themselves, right? Because the truth is that there are just buyers and non-buyers in this world, and we want to filter out all the non-buyers first before we talk to them about high ticket. And so the point of this is that these are the only people you're going to talk high ticket about, because you know, first of all, that they are buyers, okay? But there are more reasons. The second reason is obviously to deepen the relationship with you as the coach, creator, whatever, because not everyone, most people are not going to be ready to invest high ticket prices with you without actually having a deeper relationship with you. And the best way to build that relationship is to obviously give them a good experience with another product, because now they get a taste of your actual paid stuff. A lot of people have not only just been burned by other programs and other high ticket programs, but high ticket prices is obviously a big investment from them. And so they need to be comfortable with you. They need to know that you're someone that they can trust and that your offers give them result. And so that means that your high ticket will obviously be a lot easier to invest in. Now, like everyone almost says when it comes to low ticket, oh, it's not as high priced as my high ticket, I won't make as much money. Yes, that's true, but the low ticket is not meant to make money. It's meant to build trust. It's meant to filter out the freebie seekers so that your high ticket can make more money. Is it easier or harder to get a high ticket sale once people have a better relationship with you? Easier. So your back end, your high ticket offers will make more money as a result of this low ticket. So you will make more money, right? Very easy. But there's another reason for why this low ticket should be in place. And it is to give people momentum. Okay? A lot of times, the reason people don't invest in high ticket right away actually has nothing to do with your offer, nothing to do with your sales skills, nothing to do with the quality of the lead. It's because they don't believe that they can get the result with the high ticket. Like, they don't believe themselves that they can do it. Like, they don't have enough trust in themselves, right? Because if someone invests in high ticket, usually they have bought other programs and stuff before. Like I said, buyers are buyers. They have tested different things before. That's almost like always the case. It's so rare that you'll talk to people who haven't invested in themselves before, right? And so that's also another thing. If you make offers, you should always assume that someone has tried something else, because they most likely have, because buyers will buy again, right? So they have failed in the past. So they have less trust in themselves. On social media and stuff, they'll, blame the creator, the program, whatever, as to why they failed. But the truth is that deep down in themselves, they also blame themselves, right? So what we need to do is actually give them momentum and give them a win, a win for them, so that they can believe in themselves that they can do it, so that the high ticket doesn't seem like such a big leap, if that makes sense, right? Instead of, asking them to jump from this cliff to this cliff, right? Which is what we're doing a lot of the times when we ask people to invest in high ticket. We're asking them to take a big bet on themselves, but also you, right? But when we have the low ticket in place, we basically like build a little bridge here so that we can close this gap a little bit more, right? So hopefully that makes sense. And what this may look like, for example, let's say I'm selling ads or something. Let's say I'm selling, I don't know, ads management. I'm in like an agency or something. What I may do to give people, let's say, a very quick win and build trust in me while filtering out the freebie seekers, the tire kickers, etc., and quickly ascend people to my high ticket is, for example, to make, let's say, an offer where I have some, like, I don't know, done for you hook templates for ads or something, and then it's maybe like a fill in the blanks like structure, and basically something that makes the ad creation for them as done for you as possible. And I have some unique way to, like, some unique formula, whatever, something that makes these ads special. And so once people implement this, they can maybe get results within like a day or something, right? And maybe the next step is like, okay, well, you got these, results already from my fucking like ads that are done for you, or whatever, like the templates. I can also just manage your ads or whatever. And so the low ticket in this case is giving them that win, giving them that momentum, and it's building trust in the creator, in other words, you, so that, let's say, for example, the ads management offer right here will be easier to jump into because most people have been burned by an agency. Now you've proved that some stuff that you have about ads can work. So the jump will be easier, not only because they trust you a little bit more, but because they also now trust, they have more faith that they can get results with ads too, because they've been burned in the past. So they over time built less and less belief that they can get results with ads. But now you've turned that around by giving them results with this low ticket. I know I'm going back and forth a little bit about this, but I'm trying to like make it very clear, right? And so the low ticket, in other words, it's not about just stuffing the offer with a bunch of crap just to increase the perceived value so that you can have, the total value is $4,000, but the price is only like $7, like a huge value stack. It's about just giving people what they genuinely need to get momentum. Yeah? Quickly. And in a unique way, by the way. If you have nothing unique about the low ticket or what you do overall, like, find a way. And I'm gonna actually talk about that in another video, like why it's so important to have something unique and how to do it, but that's for another time. So hopefully this makes sense about the low ticket. And then this obviously leads into the high ticket. Now you have a list of these buyers who are obviously qualified. You know that now because they've bought from you, right? You can just reach out to them and ask something along the lines of if they are happy with what they have, or like what other challenges are they, what other challenges are they facing, etc. And you can just take the conversation from there. It's like, oh, you're also facing this challenge? Okay, well, would you like to book a call or whatever? And we can talk about this? Yeah. I mean, they trust you. Now, that's very oversimplified, but I hope you can see like just how much easier it would be if they've got results already from the stuff that you brought them. Like, there wouldn't be so much resistance when it comes to getting them on a call with you for your high ticket, right? And in fact, now that you have way better people to reach out to about your high ticket, you can potentially increase your prices or whatever, because all of the reasons that I mentioned, more qualified, they have money, they are probably good, better clients, right? Because of the things that you did with your content and your ads, like the people you're trying to attract. So they can probably pay more. Yeah. But before I leave, I actually want to mention something else that I just remembered now. I am basically doing this entire thing for my business with this channel. And so basically, my, let's say, high ticket, or the offer that I really want to promote, is has to do with getting you more high ticket sales, right? But the thing is that most businesses, and I mean like 99% of them, don't have this in place, right? They don't have this in place. They like they just have their high ticket. They're posting random content. They have a bunch of offers that are just like disorganized and not structured, and they're just launch. They're in launch cycles, and they don't have a clear path for getting this attention over here into like high ticket sales. Like they don't actually have that clear path. They don't have the low ticket. They don't have the front end of the business figured out. And so I have to help you figure that out so that you can become a good partner for me in the future when it's time to do this step 3, which is like getting you the high ticket sales in like a completely risk-free way, without you having to do any work or like get on any calls, etc. And so I'm like doing this for my own business right now. Now, I don't actually have the funnel itself in place because I want to just grow the channel a little bit first, but this is like my plan. So I'm doing this myself right now. And I explained in the beginning like my idea about content too, like the type of content that I post. And so I'm doing exactly this, and you can do the same. If you want me to basically do all of this for you, then you can also DM me on my socials and we can talk about it. And we'll talk about how I can potentially set up a new stream of buyers for you so that you can get super high quality leads for your business.